Terralon, how do you want me to notify you when someone is
Oh, you are live. Hi, everybody. Can you turn down a little bit? Hi, everybody in family and hi, family in Facebook land and IG land. Hi, Eileen. Thanks for joining. Got my glasses on so I can try to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Cannon. Hello, Dr. Hope. I'm gonna be on 2 different platforms, so you guys will. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming into the live. I'm Dr. Terralon, your board certified family physician, speaker, author, and yay, best-selling author. I'm claiming that today of I Kissed Clinical Medicine Goodbye through my coaching program and my new book. I help medical professionals make pivotal changes so that they can find careers that allow them freedom and financial independence. You can follow me on all social media platforms. That's at Dr. Terralon, DrTerralon. And thank you guys so much for joining me today on this live launch of my new book, my first venture into writing a full-fledged book. I Kissed Clinical Medicine Goodbye, a guide for physicians who want to pivot to a non-clinical career. Thank you guys for joining me this hour. I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful that you've chosen to spend this time with me on this Wednesday, July 21st. I hope that I can, help some of you out there. I really appreciate it. So hello to all of my family and friends. I know that you guys are joining me all across the country. To my family in Mississippi, I know that you are here. To my medical mogul classmates who are all across the country, thank you guys. I have family in Iowa who have joined me, so thank you guys so much. I have family here with me. My kids are in the background. My husband's running IT back there. So thanks, guys, for all of your help. It really does take a village. Hi, Dr. Stacy. Thanks for joining me on IG. I see you there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And is that Outlaw? Well, Nicole, thank you so much. And please forgive me. I have my glasses on. I turned 40 and my eyesight went with it. So thank you guys so much. And if you will oblige me, I'll tell you a little bit about what drove me to write this book. I made the transition to clinical medicine a little bit over 10 years ago, and it wasn't anything tragic. It was just that it was a combination of getting a little bit burnt out, but also wanting to spend more time with my growing family. And when I did that, I didn't have a lot of people to ask, or I didn't find out that there was a clear path or a lot of information out there. And so for me, it was a lot of trial and error. And I find that as I meet people who are doing that more and more, that they needed a guide, they needed more information. And now that I have that experience, I thought, well, certainly it would be good to write a book about it. And I think it was Toni Morrison who said that if you don't find a book that you want to read, then you need to write it. And of course, I'm paraphrasing it. So I started to write down all those jewels that I learned over the years in hopes of making that path a little bit straighter and a little bit easier for my sister and brother colleagues. So I hope to make that transition easier for you guys. So let me tell you where you can get the book. You can, if you want a signed copy from me, you can get it at Kiss Medicine Goodbye. And if you want it for $2.99, you can go on Amazon and get it. You can get the ebook. And that helps me become a best-selling author. So $2.99 today. Yes, you heard it, $2.99, under $3. And just read it right on your phone. So I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm so excited. This was a labor of love. I want to, again, thank my family. I want to thank my business coach, Dr. Dreon Birch, for really pushing to get this book done. I want to thank Publisher Gift for saying, hey, get this book done. Tyshina Davis and her team, Kavita, Shawnee, pushing the deadlines, because this wasn't something I, had foreseen for myself. So I really appreciate it. So you know what? Let me read you a little bit about it, and just tell you. First, I want to shout out to my Macon, Mississippi family, my entire Mississippi family. I spent a lot of my formative years in Macon. And for those of you who are in Macon, I actually give a shout out to Macon because that is where I actually met my mentor, my first pediatrician. Before that, I had never actually even thought about becoming a doctor. And that's why representation is so important. I had thought about becoming a nurse, but until I met a female physician by the name of Dr. Deborah Gabriel, I had never seen a Black female doctor. So the thought never crossed my mind that I could be one. And so for me, I say it all the time, sometimes you have to see one to even believe that you could be one. And that goes for any profession. So representation is important. And from the moment that I met her, and I'm giving this, I had migraines, and I had not been diagnosed before I met her. I had complained about headaches for a long time. My mother took me to this doctor, and I just thought she was magical. And if you don't know, less than 3% of doctors are still, to this day, are African-American females. 3%, that means you take 100 doctors right now, you still will find less than 3 of them will be Black women. We are still unicorns. And so to this day, she is a mentor. She's still magical to me. I believe she still lives in Columbus, Mississippi. She's retired now. But it was not until that moment changed my life. So from then on, I continued to pursue. I believed that I could be a doctor, and I continued on that path. And so I say that because everyone remembers that moment that they decide what they're going to be when they grow up. And that's why it's so important, my formative years growing up in Mississippi. And, with all of its flaws, I still love where I grew up because those were where my values were. And I still love going home until this day. And so you'll read about a little bit of the first 2 pages about a little bit about my hometown. And the first page, the first sentence in the preface says, "I love my hometown." It's a place where people still say hello and ask how your mama is doing, and in the same sentence. I mean, everybody knows where everybody is, and that's part of my character. Because in the book, I tell you a little bit about who I am and how I got to where I am, and how I started. But it also tells you, even though I had this dream of becoming a doctor, I did get to a place where I needed to reinvent myself. I was very proud to become a doctor. I was very proud of the community and to serve the community where I came from, because when I left, I was representing the community that I came from. So let me just stop and say hello to the people who are still supporting me. Thanks, Trishelle Burgess. I appreciate it. Who else? Okay, Dr. Stacy. Thank you, Dr. Stacy. I appreciate it. You're always supporting. My Dr. Stacy's here in Maryland. Let me see. Any Facebook? I know I'm missing some of my Facebook people. Hold on. Oh, hi, Cousin Carol, Dr. Andrea, and Dr. Brandy, and Dr. Jamila. Oh, you guys are really showing up for me, and I'm so proud to see you guys. Thank you, Dr. Jamila. She's my accountability partner, and she has a baby due soon. I can't wait to see the baby. Family always shows up. Let me see who else I'm seeing. All right, guys. So why don't I read you? Let me tell you something else. So before I get more into the book, I want to just urge you, I want to let you know, I'm not trying to decrease the number of doctors that we have out there. That's not what this book is about. Doctors change their careers for so many reasons, just like anybody changes their career. Sometimes you get there and the career doesn't fit quite nicely. You know, we make these choices. Like I told you, I wanted to be a doctor when I was a little, and I'm also not trying to have people leave medicine. What I'm trying to help them do, I'm trying to help them make their career fit so that they are happier in the space. We can't serve patients unless we are healthy and happy in the space and in the space that we're supposed to be in, right? I know that there is a primary care physician's shortage. And certainly after the pandemic, I think we lost something like 300 doctors. So I'm not trying to have people leave medicine in droves. What I want to do is have people serving in the right place at the right time. Okay. We make these decisions sometimes when, you know, we're kids. And certainly sometimes we have people in medical school making they need to be doctors, but sometimes they make the wrong decisions as far as specialties. Sometimes they're just in the right careers and they're in the wrong jobs. So what I'm trying to do is help people navigate their transitions, or, you know, analyze what is it that I need to change, right? So let me make sure what I'm trying to do. So why do people change careers? A lot of times people change careers because they just need to learn a new skill, right? They're bored with what they're doing, so they're not practicing with all of their potential, right? Another thing that people are doing is, or the reason why they change their careers, they are, they feel like they need more responsibility, or, you know, they're not practicing at the top of their skill level. Likewise, maybe they need to pull back. Maybe they need to take care of a loved one. We found that out during the pandemic, and it especially affected mothers who needed to take care of, you know, well, and I should say parents, because some fathers actually left the workforce to take care of children. So when their kids were home from school, right? We saw that a lot. And then sometimes we get into a career where it just doesn't align with our core values. And we maybe we need to switch gears, right? A lot with doctors, sometimes that happens. Maybe we want to perform abortions. Maybe sometimes we don't. That's just one. That's one thing we tackle. That's just one, physician-assisted suicide. So there are lots of things, and here's a huge one that I didn't necessarily tackle in the book, but this happens a lot. A surgeon that can't operate anymore, or an injury happens and we're not able to operate in the same capacity in clinic. So we need to switch gears. We want to stay in medicine, but we need to figure out how we can serve patients in a different capacity. That's why we can move to a non-clinical career and advocate for patients in other ways. And so a lot of times as physicians, sometimes we get stuck in this idea that we can only serve patients in clinic, right? But that's not it. We can advocate for them in nonprofit settings. We can advocate for them in insurance agencies, just so many other ways. And I just wanted to give people hope, because we whether we know it or not, we are talented individuals. We are passionate individuals. And there are just so many other ways that we can serve our patients. So I'm going to take a break and just thank some more people who have been supporting me. And you guys, I truly, truly thank you. And feel free to share whether you've been there in so many, whether you've just talked to me on the phone, not judged me for leaving medicine, been curious about what I've done. I thank you. I thank you for being here today. My cousin Karan just here. Thank you. Hi, Mashika, Dr. Mashika. She's an optometrist. I'm actually wearing her. She and her husband take care of me. I'm wearing those Dr. Bunyan's eyeglasses. So with all the compliments that I got, I'm wearing their glasses. So hi, it's probably time for another checkup. Let's see. Hi, Alicia. So good to see you. Thank you for joining me. I hope Austin's doing well. She and my son went to school together, but we're still friends, even though they're not in school together. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Okay. Thank you. Let me check out IG really quickly. Oh, thank you, Kimberly Parker. Let me check IG for just a sec. Okay, I think you joined. Did you call my name? Where? Okay. All right. Now, I was just going to bring on, oh, hi, Dr. Ellie. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for joining. Thank you for getting my book. I miss you too. I miss seeing you. Okay, guys. Okay, somebody got a book. Jackson, you ready? I have a little surprise for you guys. I have a huge surprise. So I had a little special guest because after you guys bought a book, then one of the treats was that you were going to get a little bit of entertainment. Well, then just come say hi. Just come say hi. So, of course, one of the reasons why I left clinical medicine was, my family just kept growing and growing. I had 3 kids back to back. So this little guy, come here, just say hi. Hi? Yeah, okay. So he said, come here. No, you can't. So he said that every time somebody brought a book, he was going to tell a joke. But now I think you can go ahead. He does this thing where he does quote unquote dad jokes. No, this is your thing. Come on. No. So they're waiting. Go ahead. Okay. Well, you just do it later.
You say them.
No, they don't want to hear my jokes. I don't do jokes. Okay. Well, that's okay. So I knew that would happen. But anyway, so you see part of the reason I have to stay home. And it was especially crazy during the pandemic. So anyway, back to the book. Let's see. So, and thank you, Dr. Elliott, for getting your copy. I appreciate it. Oh, you're back? You ready to do your joke? Okay. Yeah, they'd rather hear that than they can read my book later, but you don't get to see it. You're reading it upside down. Go ahead.
Okay, what do you call an American bee?
What do you call an American bee? Let's see if anybody answers. What do you call an American bee? Go. It's a delay. Oh, see? Cousin Hemmings, look.
I don't see any.
They won't get it. What do you call an American baby?
I still want to wait.
You still want to wait?
See if they answer.
Okay, wait. First of all, they need to see you. Okay. What do you call an American baby? I don't think they get it.
A USB.
A USB. That's good. That's good. All right, try another one. Oh, Dr. Stacy, she said that's cute. All right, give him another one. Give him another joke.
Okay. What did the baby say when he was ready to leave?
What did the baby say when he was ready to leave? Okay, I don't know. What did the baby say when he was ready to leave?
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, that's a reference for the baby. Oh, see, some of us don't get that. So I think that would be for fans of the baby. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So
What?
Miss Alicia said good joke.
Okay.
That's Austin's mom.
What?
Go ahead.
What kind of car did Jesus drive?
Okay, what kind of car did Jesus drive? Wait, a Cadillac? What kind of car did Jesus drive?
A Chrysler.
A Chrysler. That's pretty good. Okay, one more.
One more? No, I want to do all of them.
No, you can do all of them. This is like my time.
Well, I want to do all of them.
Okay, but I want to tell them about the book.
You have all the time you want.
Okay, one more joke, and then maybe I'll bring you back on later.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you call a man with no body or nose?
Okay, a man with no body or no nose. What do you call a man with no body and no nose? Okay, what's that one?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Good job. Thanks for that intermission. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed your intermission. All right. So that's my, that was an interlude, my little intermission. Glad the Sandman wasn't here. So, okay, you guys are too kind. All right, thanks, Dr. Stacy, and thanks for joining Natural Man Podcast. Thanks so much. Thanks, Dr. Ellie. Oh, thanks, Dr. Ellie. Yeah, he's cute. You can have him, though. You can have him until school starts. Let's see. So, another reason, one thing I did, I included a chapter on mindset because I think the biggest thing that keeps us from changing careers if we need to. And it's not necessarily about changing careers. Sometimes we find out we may just need to change teams or change practice settings. Thanks, Dr. Nana. Dr. Nana says she liked the USB joke. Because one thing I learned is that people don't necessarily leave jobs, they leave bosses sometimes. Sometimes we just need to leave that particular setting. And sometimes we just need a break. So a lot of times we just need to take a step back and figure out what's the real issue. Do we just need a break? Do we need a break from that team, that boss, that work setting? Is it just the work setting? Do we need to just change our hours? For me, I had to try a lot of different work settings. So I went from traditional clinic where I was seeing a lot of patients, where it seemed like it was a numbers game. And so then I was also working in Southeast DC, which had the worst morbidity and worst mortality in an urban setting. So then I tried a suburban setting and found again that the workload was probably the issue. I was doing the work. They didn't hire an RN, so I was doing the work of the doctor and a nurse. Love the work, love the patients. The patients were the problem. It was the system. So then I thought, okay, well, why don't I try urgent care where shift work? I know I have a dedicated 12-hour shift, meaning when I leave, these are patients who are acute. They usually come in for one problem. It was going to be a quick turnaround. When I finished the 12 hours, I was going to be done, and I was only going to have three 12-hour shifts in a week. That still was quite a bit because it was fast paced. So then I found out that I was going to be missing quite a bit because that by this time I had one kid, another one on the way, but then I was missing the work. The work was fine, but then I started missing activities. So by this time I was missing soccer games. So then I figured out, okay, this was more important. So my priorities were changing. And so what I want people to understand and not feel guilty about is sometimes life changes and our priorities change, and sometimes we change. So when we're making these career decisions that we made when we were 20, by the time we get 30 and 35, it's okay. It's okay to make it's okay to change our minds about what's important. At 20, yes, I didn't, when I decided I was going to be a doctor, I wasn't figuring a family into that. And sometimes medicine and the choices that we make at 20 don't fit our life at 35 and 40. So what is it that we're going to change about our life? Are we going to change the job? Or are we going to change? Change the priorities? So I'm just going to pause right here. A couple of people have requested friend requests, and I think it's because they can't see my live. So if you guys will excuse me for 1 second. Kenneth?
Yes.
Can you accept the friend request for a couple of people for me?
The what request?
Can you just come over here, please? Accept friend requests on Facebook for a couple of people so they can see the live. Okay, sorry, can't stop being moms. Accept the friend request on the phone for a couple of people. No, go to Facebook. Sorry about that. So, so I hope that you will get the book. And I want you to understand that it's not just for, you don't have to get this book just for physicians. This is for anyone, because I try not to, it doesn't tell you to go out and get a particular job. It is supposed to be a guidebook to talk to you about your mindset, to just drop gems and advice on mindset. And there's even, my favorite part is one about a house plant. And there is a part. Yep. Thank you.
All of them?
Yep, just go ahead. And then get back to IG. So, we talk about having a fixed and a growth mindset. And it's based on how you think and how ready you are to accept change. And those are probably my favorite, because there's an experiment that talks about how our mindset, we start cultivating that even as young as children. And so there's a psychologist, Stanford psychologist called Dr. Carol Dweck. And she did this groundbreaking work probably about 20 years ago. And the most interesting experiment that she did was she had a group of students that they were given this nonverbal IQ test. And they did well. All of them did well. They made it really easy. But what she did was she separated a group, and she said, for one group, she said, wow, you got X many right. That's a really good score. You must be smart at this. To the second group, she said, wow, you got X many right. You got a really good score. You must have worked really hard. So What do you think? So let me go back over it. So the first group, now everybody got a really good score. To the first group, she said, you must be really smart. To the second group, she said, you must have worked really hard. So what they did was, to those two groups, what they did was they gave them a much harder test. They gave them a much harder test. Who do you think performed well? Who do you think performed, of the two groups, who do you think performed better on this harder test? They purposely made it harder. Of the two groups, who performed better? The group that was told that they were smart, or the group that was told that they worked harder? Which group? And thanks, Dr. Stacy, for putting that for putting that link up. All right, guys, test time. Who performed better? The group that was told that they were smart, or the group that was told that they worked hard? All right, Karanja, Dr. Ellie, Dr. Stacy. Who performed better? I know I'm giving you guys a few minutes because I know there's a delay. All right, and while I'm waiting, you can go to Amazon at that bit.ly link that Dr. Stacy has put up. I know she put it on IG. Can somebody put it up? Can one of my classmates put up the bit.ly link on Facebook for me? The HTTP bit.ly at Dr. Knight 2021 link for me. Or you can go directly to Amazon. Or you can, if you'd like it from me and you'd like a signed copy, you can go to kissmedicinegoodbye.com. Okay, Dr. Ellie got it. Yes, the people who worked hard, not the people who were told they were smart. They did exceptionally better than the people who were told that they were smart. So that's the mindset. Those were people who had a growth mindset. Because the people who had a fixed mindset, who already believed that those are people who have a fixed mindset, who believe that they already are born with the talent that that God has given them. Thanks, Dr. Ellie. I appreciate it. So you have to have a growth mindset if you are, going to excel, because those people with a growth mindset are people who tend to do better when they face challenges. And if you are someone who, especially if you're going to be an entrepreneur or, just excel at things in life, those are the people who tend to do well, someone who has a growth mindset. So those are the things that I talk about initially, because you got to start with mindset. Then I talk about burnout, something that physicians and other people, and not just physicians, but anybody, think about it, a teacher, construction worker, administrative assistant, you name it. If you are in a job long enough, you will face burnout. And we don't talk about it enough. And certainly we saw a lot of that during the pandemic. And I just talk about what burnout looks like and what we need to do to tackle burnout. But I won't belabor that here. Let me just stop and say thank you guys thank you again, Dr. Ellie, for putting the link in so that people can go and get the book. Is $2.99 right now. That's how you help me become a bestseller. Come on, guys, $3. You can click it a couple of times if you want. Again, thank you. And thank you again, Dr. Stacy. Thank you, classmates, for showing up. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my family for being here. What else? Oh, and one of the important lessons that I learned from my mom, even though she doesn't think that I listen to her, I do. So you guys see this right here, it's huge right now. It's huge. And you can bet my mom has repotted this already. This is a house plant. This is called the official scientific name is called the pothos plant. And I I talk about it in my book, and I've learned so much from this pothos plant because I've had one ever since I've had a place of my own. And yes, it's probably the first thing my mom put in my place. The first time I had a place of my own was in med school, and that is because, oh, hi, Publisher Gift. Thank you, Taishina, Shani. Thank you guys for coming. Because I've learned something. This is a plant that I have not killed. So that means I've had it or some form of it for 20 years. No, I'm 43, for over 20 years. So this is why I have a portion in the book. It starts on page 17 called Lessons from a Houseplant. I almost call my book Lessons from a Houseplant. And it says on page 17, my mother has quite the green thumb. She says she inherited from her grandmother. It obviously skips a generation in our family. I don't recall her mother, my maternal grandmother, having many plants. So my grandmother didn't have plants, but my mother did. If you go to my mom's house, then you pretty much have to walk through a jungle to get there. Same with her office. She's a retired principal right now, but same with her office. There's like a rubber plant. I think my mom has like a lemon tree. I think she has an apple tree. She's always fussing, and she has a tomato. She even has a little greenhouse in the back. I mean, oh, my dad is here. Hey, Papa. Yes, I'm country. I call my dad Papa. He's not my grandfather. Everybody calls him Papa, even his kids. So my dad's here. Oh, he said, love you. Okay, love you too, Papa. So I'm glad you're here. So anyway, yes. So back to the plants. It's an ideal plant because you can't kill it. And the reason why I talk about this plant is because we can learn so much from this house plant. And one of the things that I say about this plant is we need to be a lot like this plant because it's evergreen. And what do I mean by how a person can be evergreen? It means that we need to stay relevant. We need to always absorb and retain as much information as we can. That's what it means to stay evergreen as a person. Always stay up on the information that's relevant, because that's how you can always innovate in the space where you are. Now, this is a plant that takes very low light. That's what makes it an excellent houseplant. And if you're on IG, you have a very good view of this plant. And I'm gonna try this so you guys can see it here. Excellent houseplant. I've neglected this plant so many times. That's why it's a good plant if you're a student. I've forgotten this plant so many times. I hardly water this plant because, sometimes people aren't going to always show you. You're not going to be in a place where there's a lot of light all the time. Sometimes you're going to be in a place where there are just not a lot of nice people. It's not going to be a nice, warm place. This plant has been the first place where I ever had my own place was in Rhode Island. When you think of Rhode Island, you don't think warm, sunny place. That's where I went to medical school. Excellent school, but not a warm, sunny place. Not lots of light. And in fact, I had a basement apartment. I love that apartment, but it did not get a lot of light. So this plant survived. It has been repotted, but it has survived. So, but it thrived, not only survived, but thrived. And so that's what you have to do. No matter what negative people you have in your space, what challenges come your way, what kind of soil you are potted in, what kind of bosses you have, what kind of coworkers you have, you gotta thrive. You gotta get your strength from somewhere. For me, it is Almighty God. It is, I try to find those positive people that I can lean on. It is family. And I encourage you to do the same. You got to find your tribe. So that is what I mean by thriving in low light. It's not going to always come to you or be there automatically. You got to seek it out. It adapts easily. So when I tell you this plant has been to Rhode Island, it has been to Texas with me. He spent 4 years in Rhode Island. I guess when I moved out, 2 years in Rhode Island, 3 years in Texas, now back to Maryland, and crisscross country with each move. I mean, think about the different climates it's been in. Think about the different houses it's been in. It's even been survived pests. I mean, you got to be able to adapt. So that's what I mean. There's another lesson that you got to learn from your house plant. I mean, I bet you thought you're going to look at your plants very differently now from now on. Dr. Stacy said that's a word. See, my dad and bonus mom are our Sunday school teachers. See, I bet y'all didn't think I was listening. See, I listen, and I teach first grade Sunday school. So sometimes I have to draw from the examples around me. So, so it's highly adaptable, and then also it's resilient. So after all of this, it is resilient. And I think that's the thing that I've learned most from this houseplant, that after all this, it's been repotted. This is, I don't know where my mom found this plant the last time that she was here, but it's been in different types of soil. I don't really know. She just comes, she looks at it. Sometimes she's always complaining, I don't take the best care of it. Sometimes it looks leggy, and then she'll put it in water, have it grow out again, and then repot it. That's the other thing. I'm not always the best caretaker. That means somebody else will come back and nurse it back to health, usually her. So yeah, that's probably and I have another lesson in here about an octopus. Are you smarter than an octopus? If we have time, I'll read that too, but I want you guys to actually buy the book. So again, this is not just for physicians, it's for anybody who needs to read about what it's, sort of the headspace I was in when I thought, you know what, I gotta change it. I just needed to figure out how to make medicine work for me. I'm still in medicine, just so you know. I work for a healthcare company, a large payer, a large insurance company, and I advocate for patients daily. I read charts. I talk to other doctors. I find out more information. So when your doctor is writing notes about you, I'm one of the people oftentimes that will get it and read it on the other end if we have to figure out how to, pay for the service, or if they're asking for a special service. I have had to, talk to people in suits to say, yes, this is necessary. I have advocated for people who look just like me and you who don't understand why you may need it. And sometimes it's for social reasons. A lot of times I will have to say to people who don't understand, who may not have had that experience, just because I'm a woman or I am a person of color, and I've had to explain for cultural reasons. So I'm very proud of that. Hey, Judy, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm, again, thankful for my classmates who are here. Go to Bitly. Dr. Ellie has put it in the link, and Dr. Stacy has put it in on IG. Thank you to everybody who has joined. Thank you for this time. Are there any questions? I'm talking. I don't want to just talk. Do you guys have any questions? I invite your questions. Let's see. Thanks, Dr. Sylvia. Any of my kids, you guys want to say hi? Oh, Mrs. Finney, thank you so much. Mrs. Finney, another part of my tribe. So many people have helped me along the way. I used to stay at her house during college breaks. Oh, I'm so glad you called me online today, too. Did you know I had written a book? I stayed at the summers at her house. Okay, so Dr. Mashika says, where should one begin if they want to transition out of clinical care? Okay, come on, guys, you can sit here. So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that. So I would start one within your own network. You would be surprised at what people do, because a lot of times people have side gigs going on. A lot of jobs are not actually posted. I have one friend who she just told me about. She actually she's a family physician, and radiology centers after hours, sometimes they need a medical person on staff just so they can give contrast. But they just need a doctor to sit there in case somebody faints or passes out or has a medical emergency. So there are jobs like that. And also, really what she does, she would study or like for her boards or read or do other things. And she did that for a few hours. I mean, you would be surprised at just because you have a medical degree, people need you for. So check in your network, meaning the people that you know, just to see what they're doing. I would start there. The second place I would check would be online. And because Indeed, Monster, those places are posting. And a lot of times companies will need doctors on their staff or contract positions just to ask, just to consult with doctors. Doctors can get consulting gigs. That's another good place to start. So, and then also, if you're not really sure, a coach. Hello, I'm a coach. A career coach would be helpful. So those are the three big places that I would start if you want to transition out, because then a coach could also help you figure out exactly what it is that where your pain points are. So those are my three big ones. Oh, I was going to introduce my kids. Come on, Allie.
They don't know us.
Okay, so this big guy right here is my oldest. This is my oldest, Cannon, who is named after my maiden name. And the jokester is Jackson. And this lovely lady here is Allison. And this is a huge reason why I transitioned, because I wanted more time with these guys. The hours did not allow me to participate as much as I wanted to with them. So my priority was making my job fit around their schedule, not the other way around. So there you go. You guys want to say anything?
Hi.
Okay. And then over to I'm sorry.
Hi.
This is Jackson. This is Allison. Aloha. And there's on Judy's on. Jackson, you gotta say hi. And then Cannon.
Again.
Okay. And Cannon, you ready? Oh, we have one more treat for you guys. Wait, Jeff.
You're funny.
Okay. We have one more treat. All right. So one thing that Cannon can do, because I know you guys are bored of me. Okay, Cannon is a cuber. So he can solve a Rubik's Cube. I will give a free book to the person who guesses his time. A free book to the person who guesses his time, who's closest to his time in solving it. So let's put if you put your wagers in, let's wager. How long do you think it will take Cannon to solve his Rubik's Cube? So we'll take wagers for the next few for the next few seconds. Whoever's the closest, but not over. Okay. Dr. Mashika says 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Anybody else want to wager? Don't let Dr. Mashika get it just by default.
Yeah.
It's for a free book. Okay.
2 minutes even.
Okay, 2 minutes even from Tamik Can. 5919. Okay. Okay, Dr. Stacy says 90 seconds.
That's a minute 30.
And okay. Mrs. Finney says 1 minute 25 seconds.
But remember, it's under, not over, right?
I said closest without going over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I was asking you. Let me
Mhm.
say 60 seconds. I don't know.
It's 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
Write them down.
All right.
Oh, there's some people on this one. Hold on.
Oh, okay. You're on Facebook? Okay. Who you got?
Dr. Stacy Thompson,
I got her.
70 seconds. Ruby Chanel, 45 seconds.
Okay, Ruby.
Sylvia Ganshanbali, 3 minutes.
Okay.
Barbara Kearns, 30 seconds.
Oh, Dr.
30
Bobby.
seconds. Dang. 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Demetra.
3 minutes.
Demetra Hodges, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay.
And then Demetra Hodges, 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna cut it off. Oh, hi, Demetra. Oh, that's my classmate. And Dr. Bobby. I'm sorry, your comment didn't come through StreamYard. So Dr. Bobby and hi, Ruby. Thank you so much. All right, guys. We're gonna cut it off now. So you ready, Cannon? And
Yeah.
let them see you. Wait. Let them see you on IG.
Hi.
All right. So I'm gonna move a little bit.
Okay, here we go.
You ready? Wait.
Yes.
They can see. You ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to time? Ready to start the time?
Oh my gosh. I'm costing people free books now.
No, don't worry about that. I'll let it.
Oh my goodness. This is Tiffany Cannon.
I know. Okay. Oh, okay.
You were
Okay.
like
Sister.
TM Cannon.
Shh, you don't worry about that. Go.
Sister.
I know it is.
Go.
Whoops. Okay.
Oh. They got the worst possible draw.
Done.
What is it?
Hold it up.
Hold on.
It was 55 seconds.
Hold it up.
It was 55.
56, 30.
Show the IG.
It was 55. It was 55. Because Daddy saw.
56,
So who do-
33. Who won?
Who won? Was it? Oh, not who got Dr.
It's
Stacy?
Ruby Chanel.
Ruby? Oh, that's my soror, Ruby. Ruby.
She guessed 45 seconds.
Ruby gets 45. Okay, Ruby.
It was 55 though.
Yep, she was the closest to that one.
Okay, Ruby Chanel was guess 45. So Ruby, just DM me your address and I'll send you a book. Yay, Ruby. Thank you guys. Oh, okay. So Dr. Mashika said you're brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aunt Tiffany.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now he's working on this one. But
I finished it. I explained
It takes a little longer. It takes him. He's still working on this one. It's like 15 minutes though.
Yeah, I can finish
All
it.
right, guys. Now I tried to get Allison to sing.
Allison.
Dr. Ellie said great job. I tried to
Thank
get
you.
Allison to sing, but she's declining.
Allison,
So-
please.
But again, thank you guys so much. We're almost at the end of the hour. I thank you guys so much for spending it with me. Again, I gave it up for these 3 munchkins. Let me take some time to thank some
Can
people.
I do the rest of my jokes?
Well, I need to thank some people, and then maybe we'll let you go out with a joke. So, Oh, okay. So I missed a lot of people on this one that didn't come through StreamYard. So, thank you, Dr. Nazreen. Because this is about. Oh, thank you, Dr. Nazreen, for coming. Latasha, my classmate, Dr. Nicole, Courtney, my line sister, Dr. Yaz. I'm so sorry I missed so many people because it didn't come through StreamYard. And Courtney, Dr. Madeline. Oh, my sorors are just showing up. My classmates, Dr. Snool. Guys, you are so wonderful. Dr. Brandy. Let's see who else is showing up. So my MVP mom sisters are here. Guys, thank you so much. I'm sure I missed quite a few people. If I missed you, charge it to my head and not to my heart. My family here, my partner Marshall, and my partner in raising these munchkins. What else can I say? I want to definitely thank God for just bringing me this far. And I want to thank my parents, my mom, my dad, my bonus mom, Caroline, all of my family, everybody who's going to see this on replay. If you have prayed with me, and so many of you have prayed for me, thought about me, sent me a kind word. What else can I say? I don't know. I'm truly grateful. Some of you have cried with me, listened to me cry. I don't know. I'm just thankful and grateful, and I'm looking forward to what is in store for the upcoming year. So, does anybody else have anything to, are there any more questions? I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's bought the book, who's going to buy the book. Let's see. Thank you to my new friends. I know some of you even joined during the broadcast. I saw Dana, Tarita. I know you guys joined. I hope you got to see some of it. Thank you, Robin, who called me this morning. I have two friends, Robin, who did my makeup, Robin, who I exercise with, all of you guys. Wow, there are just so many people. Please forgive me if I have forgotten your names, but Medical Moguls, Dr. Drayon, Dr. Drayon Birch. Let me see. Dr. Mildred Gibson, who I call like 5 a.m. to pray with, who's my auntie. Oh my gosh, there's so many people to thank. Just thank you, everyone. So I love you guys. Again, if I have forgotten your name, thank you, Dr. Stacy, Dr. Ellie, you guys for posting the link, Dr. Brandy, all of my sorors, all of my MVP moms, any group that I'm a part of. I love you guys. Love these munchkins, love this family, love my extended family, whether you're related by blood. A million thank yous to you all. So I'm going to sign off now. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a private message and I'll try to get to them. But I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please like and share this. If you have someone who you think may benefit from the book, who may benefit from coaching, or just may have a general question for me, I really appreciate it. So, all right, guys, love you. And I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. If there are any more questions, thank you. Bye. Did I see a question? Oh, how do you draw the line between stick-it-to-itiveness and tolerating abuse in a professional space? Oh, that's a great question. So no one should be tolerating abuse in a professional space. what you want to do is document. Definitely document everything. Also, you want to seek out your HR person because they should be keeping everything confidential. You want to know what the HR policies at your workplace is. Is there an HR manual? That's my first question. Where can you find the guidelines? Is it online? Is there an HR manual? Find what's in writing first. Then also contact your HR person at the job and figure out what's legal, what's permissible, and then also document. But no one should be tolerating abuse. So those would be the first things that I'd advise you to do. Secondly, and then also your mental health is not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's not the job for you